Hey, today we're talking about faith and finances, but don't go anywhere. Give me 2 seconds, all right? Here's the deal. If you give, ask yourself why. And if you don't, more importantly, ask yourself why. That topic, faith and finances, is complicated, it's hard, it's awkward, it's confusing, but here's the deal. It's really not about the money. See, Jesus doesn't need our money, right? What he wants for us, he wants our hearts to be with him. He wants to be the priority in our lives because he knows that is the best thing for us. Okay? He also knows the number one thing he competes with is money. So giving is really the process of changing your heart. It's the process of reprioritizing the order in your life and making Jesus number one. So check out this clip from our podcast, Faith Curious. I hope you enjoy it. Take care. Have a great day.
Why are we even talking about giving?
Well, I mean, one reason we give, I want to be able to come here every week and I want to be able to experience and have access to the things I want to have access to. And it takes money. So I'm going to give. The other reason it's important that Jesus is number one in our hearts. You know, giving is a process of prioritizing Jesus, right? Because if I can give generously, then truly I am truly moving the priority from money to Jesus.
If I choose to be generous in an area of my finances, money that I could absolutely use somewhere else, right? For cups of coffee or new tires or whatever. And I'm freely surrendering that up. I'm relinquishing control there. And that is an ask. That is a faith trust journey right there.
I would love to say, giving changes your heart on day one. If it does, great. Yes, there's fear. I'm not going to say there's no fear. I'm not going to say, we get to a point where given, a certain amount that is the right amount for us. I'm not going to say it. Sometimes there isn't resentment. There is.
Yeah. Be real about that.
I'm human, man. I'm human. Like I don't, just because I'm there, I'm not always there. I'm not always comfortable with the amount, like I'm human. I never change it. It's not like this gas pedal that I step on and step off and step on and step off. But I'm human. I have fear. I have things I want to do. You had mentioned, just that it will hurt and it will be hard and, it will be fearful. Yeah, it will be, right? But be faithful and you have more opportunities to do good things with the things that you have. Jesus taught in parables. 25% of the stories he told were about money, and not like how to manage your money, but Jesus knew that money is one of the most reliable things that he is competing with for your heart. So know that and just handle that with care.
If I want to be, Mr. Super Faith person, right? Which is a bunch of crap. Then I need to be poor, or I need to be like downtrodden, or just give everything that I have away and live like a monk,
Right.
And that could not be further from the truth.
So yeah, does God want us to be poor? Absolutely not. Right? Does he want us to be rich? I don't know if he wants us to be rich, but like he wants us, he wants us to have peace, right? He doesn't have any problem. He has no problem, in my opinion, with us being rich. Okay. Like being wealthy isn't the problem. Driving a nice car isn't the problem. And I don't think anyone should feel guilty about it. It's harder for a rich man to get to heaven than it is for a camel to go through an eye of a needle, I think.
Right.
And so you can interpret that like, oh, rich is bad, right? But no, what he's saying is when you're rich, it's hard to put me first. Be careful when you have it because it easily replaces me. And being poor isn't a virtue.
Yes.
It doesn't put you in a special place, right?
Bold print. Yeah.
It's just that money is really good at becoming the most important thing in the room, right? Without us ever deciding that we want it to be.